Here I am. Okay, guys, good afternoon and welcome. I heard someone say they couldn't decide what they wanted to be: a teacher, a lawyer, a police officer, a politician, a healer, a counselor, an arbitrator, a manager, a dispute mediator, a nurse, a comedian, a researcher, a coach, a security guard, a detective, or a lion tamer. But we will come back to this story. Cheryl Wilson once said, "The role of the assistant principal is a great deal more complex than most can conceive at first glance." And I know this firsthand. Allow me to share my first day as an assistant principal. We all remember what it feels like that day before the first day of school, whether it's elementary, middle school, high school, or perhaps the day before your first day on the job. You prep the night before. If you're like me, your clothes are all laid out. You're filled with anticipation, anxiety, excitement, and you probably couldn't sleep that well. You wake up early because you don't want to be late for your first day on the job. The morning of my first day was just like that. The air was fresher than usual and sort of nostalgic. As I made my way to work for the first day, for my first day as an assistant principal, I was filled with excitement. This day I had planned for many years was here, and I was ready to change the world. As I made my way to my school for the very first time, I said to myself, I have to make a great impression on my staff. And nothing creates a better impact than food. I decided on fresh bagels. After all, it's the Brooklyn way. And coffee, of course. I made it to the school early, and I was the first one there. I felt proud, but still filled with nervousness and excitement. As the staff came in and students began to trickle in, someone tapped me on my shoulder and said, "I think the tower is on fire." I turned to see the second plane enter the second tower at 9:03 a.m. At that moment, pandemonium ensued. I began by placing TVs in different rooms so we could be updated with everything that was going on, setting up phones and delegating responsibilities to staff to contact parents so they could come pick up their children. What I realized in that moment is that the word assistant doesn't really tell the tale. There is much more that we do than just assist. And it's easy for the system to overlook the work that we do. At that moment of my first day, I became a parent to students. I had to console them and ensure their immediate safety. At that moment, I was a counselor to teachers who were concerned about their loved ones and needed immediate communication. At that moment, I was a parent coordinator to the parents who were frantically calling and wanted to find out if their child was okay and how they could pick them up. This experience brought me a wisdom that I've never had before. In this era that we are in with so much information, it's really critical as an assistant principal to synthesize and sift through what's important and what's not. We are creative leaders who have to find the right solution for the right problem at the right time. You see, assistant principals are the backbone of the school. We hold it down. The crazy thing is, that was just one day. That was my first day. And 20 years later, I am still here as a school leader at YABC at Lehman High School, holding it down. As assistant principals, we facilitate, we mitigate, we manage, but above all, we show up each and every day dedicated to serving our students that we are charged with. So today we are here to celebrate and appreciate assistant principals. The word appreciate, as defined by Webster's dictionary means we recognize the full worth of. In fact, a synonym for appreciate is value. So when we say that we are appreciating our assistant principals, we are simply saying that we value you beyond belief. Oh, and one more thing. Remember that person I spoke about in the beginning who wanted to be so many things? Well, they solved the problem by becoming an assistant principal. I'd like to say thank you and big shout out to all of the assistant principals for all the amazing work we do. I do want to shout out D79 and all the assistant principals there, and all Young Adult Borough Center, all YABCs in New York City. I'd like to thank you, Ms. Green, for the opportunity to speak with all of you today. I leave you all with this most important of questions. I'm an assistant principal. What's your superpower? Thank you.